From Palm Springs Stadium in the Coachella Valley, it's time for some PSCL baseball on your Thursday afternoon. I'm Vince Hesbrick, and we got a Battle of the Blue for you here to round out this day of PSCL action. It's the North Stars against the Blue Sox. Blue Sox come in at 4-7 on the year, lost their last two despite some high-powered offensive showings. And the North Stars, they are currently in the 3 seed across the PSCL. They've won their last two, and they come in at 7-5. The North Stars will be batting first for them. Leading things off will be Giovanni Liberti in left field. It will be Dylan Wallace on the hill for the Blue Sox. So this is the time of year you start to see these teams jockeying for playoff positioning. And the playoffs, of course, are right on the horizon. Every team makes it, but seeding oh so valuable. So a really fun matchup on hand. Like I said, Liberti leading things off will be Josh Payton, Gavin Rodriguez, Cooper Thompson, Dion Sitario Scott, Cash Sutton, Jackson Logston, Giovanni Pieri, Ryder Lambros, and Ryko Hamilton as the 10 in the lineup for the North Stars. Liberti steps in, and Wallace a little clean to the cleats. And from Palm Springs Stadium in sunny California, we are officially underway. First pitch gets the bottom of the zone for a strike. Here's the second pitch on the way. Half-hearted swing, got the outside, 0-2. One, two now, third pitch on the outside. Dylan Wallace has pitched in 2 games on the season for the Blue Sox. Gone 4 2/3 inning. Has allowed 10 runs, but again, a very small sample size at this point in the season. 1-2. Got him swinging. Liberti goes down. Great start for Dylan Wallace. Up next now for the North Stars, the shortstop, Josh Payton. First pitch to Payton. Up high for a ball. Payton comes in hitting .389, one of the very best players across the league while also playing short. 1-0 goes the other way, but foul. North Stars team hitting .305 on the season. .426 on base percentage, .415 slugging. They're a small ball team if there ever was one. 97 total hits, less than 30 for extra bases. 1-0 swing up high, got him to chase. Here's the 1-1 from Wallace. Grounder over to second, to first, and plenty of time for out number 1. That was Isaac Imamura at second today for the Blue Sox. Getting the second out of the inning, my mistake. So 2 outs, nobody on. Gavin Rodriguez, the catcher, hitting in the 3 spot for the North Stars. Rodriguez, another one of those high average guys. 357, but some pop as well. 536 slugging. First pitch, big swing and a miss. Second pitch gets the bottom of the zone. Wallace has Rodriguez behind 0-2, is at great command in the early goings. One-two from Wallace to Rodriguez and a timeout called. And now we're back to work. Here's the pitch. Drew Ashamina, the catcher for the Blue Sox. Called strike three. A great start to the game for Dylan Wallace for the Blue Sox. Strikeout, G4, strikeout, and he is clean through one. The Blue Sox offense will get to work, led by Justin Johnson. It's Brendan Greenfield on the hill for the North Stars in a scoreless game, bottom of one. Vince Hesprick with you. Greenfield got roughed up last time out against the Bombers, but the time before that, he spun a gem. Went 3 innings, got the win, allowed just 2 hits and 1 unearned run against the Bootleggers in a 6-5 victory. And this Blue Sox offense, despite their record, they delivered some jolt throughout the season. Justice Johnson at the top. Alika Valberti hitting second. Samuel Arredondo third. Isaac Imamura in the cleanup spot. Michael Saltzer in 5. Damian Quintana hitting 6th. Kingston Koss 7th. Raiden Sasaki 8th. Drew Ashamine 9th. And Grayson Hasbrook hitting 10th. Of course, 10 batters in every lineup here. Got to get everybody the chance to play. Just one of the fun rules around the PSCL, catered to these players in every way. Justice Johnson ready to step in, hitting 185 on the season. Great plate discipline, though, to the tune of a .378 on-base percentage, 8 stolen bases as well. Exactly the kind of guy you want to have in a leadoff spot in this modern age of baseball. Get aboard and then have the speed to get across. Johnson sees his first offering. Gets the lower corner with off-speed pitch for a strike. That one well outside, count even. Justice Johnson towering in that box at 6'1". Had a terrific start to the season. First game of the year, had 2 hits against the Lumberjacks. Takes another pitch, 1-2. Or 2-1, pardon. Looks at a pitch low for the bottom of the strike zone, 2-2. Blue Sox 4-7 on the year. North Sox 7-5. The 2-2 pitch. Driven, but fouled. Johnson has a pair of extra base hits on the season. Had some pop early on that fastball. And now the count's full. Blue Sox are hitting .318 on the season, .443 on base percentage, .475 slugging. 3-2 pitch, swing and a foul. Brendan Greenfield got Johnson to chase in a full count, but fouled it off, and we keep going. Fun at bat to get the bottom of 1 started. Payoff pitch driven out to left field, but fouled. Multiple times now, Justice Johnson's put a charge after being early on a pitch. And if he can square it up, it goes away. Working quickly, here's Greenfield. Nice little move by JJ there. Manager for the Blue Sox. Has a World Series ring with the Yankees, also an NL ring with the Rockies. I told him that's the more valuable piece of hardware. 3-2, swing and a miss. Justice Johnson ahead of the Brendan Field changeup. And a strikeout to get things started. Alika Balberti, the extra hitter now, comes up for the Blue Sox in the 2 spot. On July 4th, the Palm Springs Power will play the PSCL All-Stars, the very best players across this league. 0-1 pitch, another called strike. Good chance that we see Balberti in that game, hitting .467 on the season, .575 on base percentage. Consistent presence at the top of this lineup. 0-2 pitch, fouled away. Balberti leads this team in hits. Walks as well, only 2 strikeouts on the year. Greenfield wants to add a third. 0-2 pitch outside. And the count's even. Alika Balberti, tough guy to get out. But down he goes. Brendan Greenfield, another strikeout, 2 straight to get things started. Samuel Arredondo now, the big first baseman. 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of 1. Greenfield has gone 3 innings, his first 3 appearances. Obviously a guy that his squad wants some length out of. First pitch strike. 9 total strikeouts across 9 2/3 innings. Already 2 in the first 2 batters. Arredondo, for his part, .437 hitter in 11 games. Another all-star candidate. 1-1, just got the outside with an off-speed pitch for a strike. 14 total hits for Samuel Arredondo, 9 of them for extra bases. He mashes. Batting has absolutely not been the problem for this squad. The pitching, though, has been a little iffy. The offense trying to do some damage in the early goings, but to this point they've been snuffed out by Brendan Greenfield. 2-2 to count to Arredondo. Trying to give Isaac Imamura a runner on. Swinging a drive in the left field. That is down for a base hit. Arredondo chugging his way onto second. He will stay there standing out for a 2-out double. So Arredondo trying to get a board for Isaac Imamura. He does more than that. And Imamura, another dangerous bat. 407 average through 32 plate appearances. 12 RBIs on the season, leads the team. And with that much prowess at the top of the order, it's no surprise he leads the team in that stat. First pitch on the outside for a strike. Crazy just how quick things can change. Brendan Greenfield looked terrific through, frankly, all 3 of these at-bats, but all of a sudden Imamura a chance to give his team the lead. 0-1 pitch up high. One from Greenfield. Skied in the air. Out to right field. And the catch is made. So the Blue Sox get the first hit of the game across these two teams. Runner in scores position after a 2-out double for Samuel Arredondo. But Brendan Greenfield retires Imamura, and we are scoreless as we head to the top of 2. Top of the second here in Palm Springs. The North Stars and the Blue Sox are knotted up at 0 apiece. North Stars seeing their second at-bats of the day. Cooper Thompson leading things off. Dylan Wallace out for his second inning of work. Wallace had struggled to this point on the season, but ripped apart the pesky top of the North Stars order. 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Doesn't get much easier against a cleanup hitter Thompson, the DH. First pitch, swing and a foul. Thompson hitting .351 on the season, .455 on base percentage. 7 total RBIs, 6 walks, great disciplines. Fouls another pitch back behind 0-2. O2 pitch on the way from Wallace. Low, ball 1. Way outside. Always fun to see the kind of fun highlights these catchers make, even with nobody on. Asha Mena reaching out to save that one, but good to get some reps in. 2-2 pitch on the way. Drive into left field. It drops in for a base hit. Thompson will stop at first. Played nicely out in left field by Michael Salzer. But a leadoff base hit nonetheless. Thompson gets the first hit of the day for the North Stars. And up comes big Dion Satario-Scott. Before every game, we go down and take a picture of the lineups that are offered. And Satario-Scott's name is in red, which is fitting because he's been blazing hot on the season. .452 average, 1.2 OPS. First pitch to him, big swing and a foul. Dylan Wallace has Satario-Scott down 0-2. Cooper Thompson at first. 0-2 pitch on the ground to short. To second, there's one. Over to first. The scoop is in time. They got him. Highlights all over the diamond. 2 down. Bases empty. Damian Quintana, the shortstop, to Imamura. But maybe the biggest highlight, Samuel Arredondo off the hop. A difficult play to make. And how often do we see that ball get away, go out of play for a runner in scores position? But Arredondo made the play. Cash Sutton now, 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch to him, wave and a miss. Second pitch low, didn't offer. Sutton, a .217 hitter on the year. 7 hits, 6 runs. 1-1 from Dylan Wallace. Can't get the top of the zone, 2-1. Sutton wears 4, plays the position 4. 2-1. Again, not quite at the top. 3-1 now for Cash. Now it's 3-1. There's the outside part for a strike. Count runs full to Cash Sutton. Leadoff base hit for the North Stars, but a double play. 2 outs, nobody on. Payoff pitch. Grounded foul up the 3rd baseline. Payoff pitch will do it again. Swing and a miss, but the ball gets away. Sutton will reach. Well, it goes down as a strikeout for Cash Sutton. But maybe a wild pitch as well. It was a tricky one in the dirt. He got the chase, but catcher couldn't quite make the stop. Either way, runner aboard. Sutton has stolen one base on the year, has also been caught stealing once. Here's the first pitch to Jackson Logsdon, the third baseman. Logsdon gets aboard at a 382 clip, hitting .222. Oh, 1. 1-1 now. In tight. Ooh, but a strike. Wallace has had great command so far. Both pitchers have to this point. One hit apiece for each team. 1-2 pitch to Logsdon. Straight down the middle for a called strike 3. Cash Sutton reached on a strikeout with a wild pitch. But Dylan Wallace bounces back, strikes out Logsdon. We're headed to the bottom of 2. Brendan Greenfield back on the hill for the North Stars. Scoreless contest in the bottom of 2. Vince Hesbrook, glad to be with you for some PSCL action. Michael Salzer leading things off for the Blue Sox. In the first, Samuel Arredondo got a 2-out double, but was ultimately left stranded. First pitch is skied in the air out to left field. Giovanni Liberti gets out number 1. Two pitchers who have came in looking for a solid outing, and to this point, both have looked good. Brendan Greenfield for the North Stars, Dylan Wallace for the Blue Sox. But with both of these offenses and the talent, particularly at the top of this order, things can flip on a dime. First pitch to Damian Quintana, taken for a strike. One now. And we talk about a lot of these stats for these hitters within the context of a truncated season. 1-2 pitch. And it gets the outside for a called strike 3. Greenfield has been given the outside throughout this appearance, and he's going to keep on taking it as long as it's there. Now it's the third baseman, Kingston Koss. 2 outs, nobody on. But through 12 games, a lot of these players aren't playing every single game as well, looking to get everybody involved. So the sample size is small for a lot of these guys, but who that really impacts is the pitchers, because they obviously aren't appearing every day like their position player counterpart. 1-1, driven out to deep left field. But it will drift up and stay in the air for Liberty, who makes his second putout of the inning. Still scoreless, we're headed to the bottom of 2. Blue Sox against North Stars. Giovanni Liberti led off this game for the North Stars, hitting in the 1 spot. Now in the 8 spot, it's Giovanni Pieri, the other half of the Gio combo. Dylan Wallace, no surprise, back to work for him. Had a great outing so far for the Blue Sox. Scoreless as we head to the top of 3, or starting the top of 3, rather. 1 hit for each of these teams. First pitch to Pieri. Right down the middle for a strike. The 1 hit allowed by Dylan Wallace. 2-out double in the first inning to Samuel Arredondo. Or pardon me, leading off the second, that was Cooper Thompson, the DH. Second pitch, way off the plate, count even at 1. One to Pieri. Swing and a foul. One, two on the way. Swing and a miss. Dylan Wallace, his 5th punch out of the day, as he gets Giovanni Pieri down swinging. Up comes Ryder Lombros in the 9 spot, the extra hitter. Lombros hitting .280 and 25 at-bats, 28 plate appearances. The pitch from Wallace. Grounder, just foul. That was closer than it looked. Kingston Cost at third for the Blue Sox. Damian Quintana at second. Isaac Imamura, or at shortstop, I should say. Isaac Imamura is at second. Samuel Arredondo at first. The outfield, Michael Salzer, Grayson Hasbrook, and Justice Johnson. One outside for a ball. Lambros ahead 2-1. Right up the middle for a base hit. Wallace had to duck down. That was a screamer dead ahead with exit velocity at 96 miles per hour. So Lambros now aboard, 1 out base runner for the North Stars. Whew, you got to have some quick reaction times to be on the hill. That could have been dangerous. So Wallace obviously disappointed to give out that base hit, but glad that he's able to keep his head on his shoulders as Reichel Hamilton hitting in the 10 spot now for the North Stars. Reichel more known for his pitching. He's been getting a lot of at-bats, still hunting for that first hit. Here's the 1-0. And did it hit him? It bounces away. The runner will head to second. They're going to keep on chugging over to third. Ryder Lambros at third with 1 out. Yeah, he caught the defense napping there, and now we're going to have a conversation between the umps. I thought that hit Reichel at first, and I think Drew Ashamina might have thought the same. Obviously, the last thing you want to do if you're Dylan Wallace is hit the 9-hitter and bring the top of this order up with runners at the corners, 1 out. If he does hit him, it should be first and second. Those steals shouldn't count. And they're going to tell Hamilton to take his base. So Lambros will head back to second. 1 out, runners on first and second for Giovanni Liberti, seeing his second at-bat of the day. North Stars a chance to break this game open. First pitch to Liberti from Wallace. Swing and a miss. Dropped in the off-speed pitch low. Caught Liberti fishing. Oh, 1 pitch. Another swing and a miss. On another pitch low and inside. Liberti struck out to lead off this game. And if I'm Wallace, I am not putting this one over the plate at all. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss again. 3 straight pitches, all 3 low and inside. If it's not broken, don't fix it. That's a big second out. That late break on that slider had Liberti fooled 3 straight times. And it'll be up to Josh Payton to give the North Stars the lead. Lambros at second. Hamilton at first. First pitch from Wallace. And it hit him. Wallace again with that slider. Went low and inside. It worked on Liberty, got him to chase, but too far in on Josh Payton. Now the bases are loaded up for Gavin Rodriguez. Last time out, Gavin ended the first by striking out looking. But a major chance at redemption. Bases loaded, 2 outs for the catcher for the North Stars. Hitting .357 on the year, has 7 RBIs, a chance to drive in a few more. The first pitch. Strike on the outside. A lot of off-speed stuff from Dylan Wallace. You wonder if, as the game goes on, these North Stars bats are starting to hone in. 0-1. Swing, foul. 93 off the bat from Gavin Rodriguez. He was waiting on that pitch, just got out ahead of it. Rodriguez has been locked in, but he's down 0-2. One more good pitch from Dylan Wallace, and he's out of it. And we've seen a lot of North Stars hitters use their timeouts throughout at-bats. And here we go. Wallace delivers the 0-2. And that missed somewhere. They're going to call a balk, I believe. Wow, so a run will score for the North Stars. They lead 1-0 as Ryder Lambros gets across. Rodriguez still a chance to do some damage. Hamilton at third. Payton at second. 0-2, high in the air, out to center field. Hasbrook still on the move, twisting back. Can't make the catch. It's down and off the wall. 2 runners will score. Rodriguez to third. He's safe. 2 RBI, 2-out triple for Gavin Rodriguez. 3-0 North Stars here in the top of 3. Grayson Hasbrook out in center field. Seemed like he had a beat on it, but had to twist his way back, fighting the sun. Just could not reach back and secure the play. And Cooper Thompson, who's 1 for 1. With a runner at third, a chance to extend the lead. First pitch, driven out to left field and down for a base hit. Cooper Thompson's 2 for 2 on the day. He drives in Rodriguez, and it's a 4-0 game. We were saying before how these games can just flip on a dime, and for the North Stars, you could feel like they were making the adjustment, and now it has been made, and Dylan Wallace has paid the price. Another big swing from Dion Satario Scott, ground into a double play in the second, after Cooper Thompson led things off with a base hit. Pitches in the low 70s for Wallace, needing 1 more out to get out of the third. Has Scott behind 0-2. Five strikeouts for Wallace, new PSCL career high. He dialed up 79 there in the 0-2 count. With a guy of Satario Scott's build, you usually think of him as a power bat, but he has great contact ability. 0-2 pitch, swing and a foul. The slider, for the most part, has looked decent for Dylan Wallace, especially against Giovanni Liberti. With one down in this inning, got a crucial strikeout. But with the bases loaded, a balk and a triple did some damage, and the North Stars take the lead. Satario Scott strikes out. Sixth strikeout of the day for Dylan Wallace, but the North Stars put on 4. It'll be up to the Blue Sox to respond. Ryden Sasaki leading things off. Welcome back to Palm Springs. It's a 4-0 game here in the bottom of 3. The Blue Sox down 4 after the North Stars had a big 2-out rally. Bases loaded, 2 outs, a balk, a hit by pitch, a triple, and a single. And the North Stars get the job done when it counts. But the Blue Stars statistically have the better offense coming into play. Ryden Sasaki will look to set the tone, hitting in the 8th spot. First pitch to Sasaki. That's not a bad way to start things out. Into the gap out in right field for a leadoff single. The North Stars defense in the outfield will be Giovanni Liberti, Giovanni Pieri, and Ryko Hamilton, 7, 8, 9. And the infield, Logston at third, Peyton at short, Sutton at second, Dion Satario Scott at first, and Gavin Rodriguez will be in the catcher spot. Speaking of catchers, Drew Ashamina, the catcher for the Blue Sox, now batting with a runner aboard. Takes a first pitch strike from Brendan Greenfield. Oh, 1, grounder to third, to second. There's one over to first. It's a double play. The North Stars grounded into a big double play in the second inning, and now a double play on the other side of things knocks down the leadoff runner. Now with the top of the order on deck, Grayson Hasbrook, the center fielder, sees his first at-bat. First pitch, low and away. Slider clocked in at 60. Greenfield working quickly. 1-1 pitch up high. Now the 2-1. Count even. Greenfield's been working at the top of the zone for the most part in this inning and in this game as a whole. 2-2. Count runs forward to Grayson Hasbrook. Trying to get Justice Johnson in the one spot as the lineup turns over, an opportunity with a man on. Here's the payoff pitch. Grounder gets through for a base hit. Hasbrook is aboard, and Johnson will have his opportunity. Ground ball just 84 off the bat. But found the right location, hit it fairly well. Hasbrook records the third hit of the day for the Blue Sox. Justice Johnson started this game by striking out. Big swing for strike one. Hasbrook does not have a stolen base yet on the season. Was caught stealing once. Stays put 0-1. Now the 0-2. That pitch was right down the middle for Deion Satario Scott. You could tell he wanted it. Had a pitch to hit. When set, it stays 1-2. Greenfield wanting another clean inning. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with the off-speed pitch. Scott goes down, and the Blue Sox leave one stranded. Another inning of work for Dylan Wallace. He had done some damage to the North Stars lineup, had 2 outs in the bottom of the third, but a 2-out rally netted 4 runs for the opposition. And Wallace comes into the game with 4 earned runs to his name as he takes on Cash Sutton. First pitch to Sutton, bouncer twisting foul, or rolling foul more accurately. Just 26 off the bat. So fun that we have this kind of technology available, not just for, us as yappers, but more importantly, these players all working on developing their game, A lot of them finished up their collegiate season. Some of them get ready to start their first year in college. But either way, this is an important resource for them to continue growing as ball players. 0-1 pitch to Sutton, well outside. Count even at 1 apiece. And Wallace definitely had these North Stars hitters fooled their first time through the lineup. Has 6 strikeouts on the day. But you could just feel that when the lineup turned over, these guys started to dial back in, and Gavin Rodriguez ripped a 2-out triple for 2 RBIs after a balk, scored the first run of the game for the North Stars. 2-1 to Sutton. Grounder to third. Kingston Cost with plenty of time, but the throw is high. The tag applied. Good adjustment by Samuel Arredondo, who's had a pair of nice plays in this game already. Had a great pick in the first. Speaking of third baseman, Jackson Logston, the third baseman for the North Stars, sees his second at-bat of the day. He's one of the 6 who have struck out to Dylan Wallace. Struck out swinging in the second. First pitch, high drive, deep into the gap out in left center field, but tracked down nicely by Grayson Hasbrook in center. That seemed destined to be a base hit, but it hung up just long enough for Hasbrook to use a great jump and get a crucial second out. With the Blue Sox offense, 4-run deficit is by no means worthy of the panic button. But it's going to be up to their defense to help limit the damage. Giovanni Pieri, another North Stars batter who struck out against Wallace their first time through the order. And a first pitch strike. Second pitch from Wallace. Bounces low. That slider has reached the low 70s. Got a very good spin rate, a lot of horizontal break. Wallace has gotten a lot of chases. 1-1. In the dirt, ball 2. Grounder over to third. Kingston Cost makes a clean throw to Arredondo. And that will do it for the top of the 4th. Blue Sox will get back to work on offense down in 4 runs. But the top of their order is coming up. A 7-inning game means we are halfway done here in the bottom of the fourth at Palm Springs Stadium in the Coachella Valley. Vince Hesbrick with you here. The Blue Sox up to bat, starting with their second hitter, Alika Balberti. They're down 4-0 to the North Stars. Brendan Greenfield back to work again on the hill. First pitch to Balberti, foul down the first baseline. Balberti struck out back in the first, and we've raved about Dylan Wallace's strikeout ability, but Greenfield, he's had some great stuff of his own. Ended last inning by striking out Justice Johnson for his fourth strikeout of the day. 0-2 pitch, make it 5. Alika Balberti goes down. Brendan Greenfield starts the inning well. The Blue Sox were threatening to score a few in the third. They got a hit from their 8-hitter Ryan Sasaki as well as Graydon Hasbrook, the 10-hitter. But the catcher, Drew Ashamena, ground into a double play, and that all but ended the threat. Samuel Arredondo had an extra base hit, 2-out double back in the first. Count even 1-1 to the first baseman. Weigh in on Arredondo. Off-speed pitch at 59. Ooh, well placed. Low and away, strike 2. Two-one. Served over to the second baseman, Cash Sutton, who can't field it. And Arredondo will reach. Sutton couldn't handle it cleanly. That should go down as an E4. And the first error of the game for either team. Well, got to get aboard any way you can. Isaac Imamura, who's done some damage in the cleanup spot, sees his second at bat now, has a runner on. Flew out to Ryko Hamilton in right field back in the first. That was with Arredondo in scorer's position. Look over at Samuel. Of course, back safely. Arredondo does have exactly one stolen base on the year. Imamura shows bunt back to first. Duo. Imamura leads this team in RBIs, hitting .407 for the season. The 2-0 pitch. Make it 3-0. Seems like a pretty clear take situation. Not too many 3-0 swings in this league. We'll see if Imamura wants to change up the analytics. 3-0, he drives it, but it could not have gone worse for him. The flip to 1 to second in time in the inning will end. Imamura had some thoughts on his mind, chased a pitch 3-0, ground into a double play to end the inning. Another clean one for Brendan Greenfield. His offense will try and give him some more support. Ryder Lombros to lead things off. Dylan Wallace out for his 5th inning of work here in the top of 5. Wallace allowed 4 runs in the top of the 3rd, but he's been a really fun pitcher to watch so far. It has been nothing but sliders to this point. And, of course, right on cue, he goes with the fastball at 79 to start the at-bat against Ryder Lombros. Takes for a strike. And a timeout. I had to check in with Leo, who's running our TrackMan today, just to make sure that, my eyes aren't deceiving me that it's just been one pitch for the most part from Wallace. But he's made it work for the most part. Really only one inning where he struggled. 0-1 on the outside. It'll be interesting to see when he gets the hook. He's scheduled to face Giovanni Liberti at the top of this order, but that is also the hitter he's had the most success against. Liberti 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 1-1 pitch, called just outside, 2-1. Right on the edge, but our data tells us that was a ball. 2-1 on the way from Wallace. Up high, 3-1. Lombros had a single last time up. Had the first hit of the inning for the North Stars. Ultimately came around to score. Hitters count, swing and a miss. Well-placed fastball right at the bottom of the zone. Here's the payoff pitch from Wallace to Lombros. And we'll do it again. Blue Sox come in at 4-7. North Stars 7-5. Here's the 3-2. Got him. Dylan Wallace gets his first strikeout of the inning, 7th of the game. And Wallace has had a lot of success pitching inside, but that came to bite him against Ryko Hamilton in the 10 spot. Hit him last time Hamilton had an at-bat. First pitch, wave and a foul. Ryko Hamilton, mostly known for his pitching, still hunting that first hit of the season. A lot of room up the middle. Here's the 0-1. Called strike at the heart of the plate. Ryko's made some nice defensive plays, trying to get it done with the bat. 1 out, nobody aboard. 0-2 pitch. bounces in for a ball. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Make it 8 strikeouts now for Dylan Wallace. And he will stay out there as Giovanni Liberti sees his 3rd at-bat. And usually this is the point where the metrics start to favor the hitters even more than before. But Liberti chased 3 straight pitches low and inside back in the 4th. Starts him out with a fastball outside for strike 1, or ball 1, pardon. Make it 2 straight well outside. That might have been a changeup. Liberti ahead 2-0. And they went for that inside slider. But Liberti looked at it. 3-0 now. And the other side of things, Isaac Imamura ground into a double play after swinging 3-0. We'll see what Liberti does here. Clear take, 4-pitch walk. Giovanni Liberti's aboard with 2 down. Josh Payton got hit by a pitch in the 4th. Ultimately came around to score. Came up with the bases loaded when he got hit by a pitch. Did not get an RBI because before that a balk got the first run of the game for the North Stars. First pitch to Payton. Straight up the middle, but not enough sauce on it to get it through. Handled nicely by the Isaac Imamura, and that will end the inning. Dylan Wallace, a strong performance for the most part. He gets his team through 5. The Blue Sox offense will try and do some damage against Brendan Greenfield. The Blue Sox have 9 outs to get 4 runs. They're in the bottom of the 5th here at Palm Springs Stadium in the Coachella Valley. Vince Hesper, glad to be with you for this one. Michael Saltzer, the left fielder, will lead things off. And the Blue Sox have got runners aboard. It hasn't always been pretty, but the last 2 innings, they've had 3 total reach. The problem for them is that 2 straight innings with double plays have snuffed out their threats. Brendan Greenfield's got a lot of strikeouts in this game. But the double plays have also been key to him as well. Obviously getting some great help from this elite North Stars defense behind him. One 1-0 pitch. Grounder to short. Josh Payton across. 1 down. So now it's Damian Quintana, the shortstop for the Blue Sox. Struck out looking in the second. 5 strikeouts on the day for Brendan Greenfield. A really strong showing. But we saw the way it flipped for Dylan Wallace in the 3rd inning. Blue Sox hoping to do the same. First pitch paints the outside part of the plate for a called strike. That pitch higher in the zone. Called strike just at 62, breaking ball. They're fun to watch, both these guys. 1-1 outside. It's just in baseball, there's so many similarities from day to day. Just the uniqueness is what makes it so fresh. These 2 breaking ball pitchers have been really fun to follow so far. Another ground ball bobbled to first, not in time. Second error of the day for Cash Sutton. 1 out base runner for the Blue Sox. So this mirrors last inning to this point for him. First batter gets out, second reaches on an E4. Kingston Cost now trying to avoid the double play that ended the 4th inning. Cost 0 for 1. Flew out to left. Fly ball. Out to right. Ryko Hamilton for out number 2. And bears repeating that this Blue Sox offense, despite the team struggles as a whole on the season, the offense has not been the problem. They've been one of the best in the league to this point. Maybe second best behind the Lumberjacks. But only 3 hits for them. Ryden Sasaki had himself a base hit his first time up. Takes inside. Hit a 1-out single in the 3rd. A double play followed afterwards. One-0 stung out to center. Giovanni Pieri gets out number 3. So some hard hit balls for the Blue Sox, but still another strong inning for Brendan Greenfield. His North Stars will try and add on. We'll see he'll be on the hill up against him. And we will see another inning from Dylan Wallace for the Blue Sox here in the top of the 6th. He's been really fun to watch so far, a really nice slider. But you got to give a lot of credit right now to Ryko Hamilton in the 10th spot for the North Stars. His team leads 4-0, and he's a big reason why, because the third is where his team did the damage. Giovanni Pieri led things off by striking out, then a one-out single from Ryder Lombros. And Hamilton does not have a hit yet on the day, but a pitch was inside. He stood tall. He took it on the leg. He headed to first. And after his teammate Giovanni Liberti struck out, the inning kept going because of Hamilton's courage. And then suddenly a hit by pitch, triple, single, 4-0 game. It's the ripple effect of why we love this sport so much. And maybe for Dylan Wallace, why it can be so frustrating as a pitcher. He still had a strong showing, 8 strikeouts. Nothing to be ashamed of. Very impressive, in fact. Just the one inning is going to be the thing that has kept this from being a really fun pitcher's duel. Gavin Rodriguez is the one who hit the 2 RBI triple that broke this game open. He's going to lead things off here in the 6th. We were wondering how much rope Wallace would get, and I thought maybe the philosophy would be to just try and get him through Liberti at the top of the order and then go from there. But now he's taking on Rodriguez, one of the best hitters on the North Stars team and in the PSCL, and Rodriguez seen him for a 3rd time. Remember, Wallace has mostly thrown that one pitch, the slider, and Rodriguez got a hold of it. That said, it was a fly ball as well, one that Grayson Hasbrook couldn't handle in center. Was still a hit, of course, but it did hang up. The first pitch to Rodriguez taken for a ball. Started him out with the fastball. And there's the slider inside. Rodriguez 1 for 2, struck out looking in the first. 3-0 now. Giovanni Liberti was up 3-0, took a ball. We'll see if Rodriguez is in take mode. 3-0 pitch on the way. Called strike in there. Very good slider, got the outside part. Now we'll see if Gavin wants to swing big 3-1. Pitch on the way from Dylan Wallace. Big swing and a miss. A lot of the plate on that slider. It's 71. Rodriguez, eyes got big but came up empty. From 3-0 to 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way, ball 4. So Wallace did well to fight back in the at-bat against Gavin Rodriguez, but instead Rodriguez stands tall, gets aboard. Cooper Thompson, who's 2 for 2, comes up. Thompson has an RBI. He scored Rodriguez in the 3rd. Crucial spot for the Blue Sox if they want to stay in this game. First pitch, that's low for a ball. Sometimes you can feel like a team is starting to smell blood in the water. 1-0 from Wallace. Runner on the move. Throw down to second. It bounces away into center field. On the move is Gavin Rodriguez. Sliding in safely to third. And a runner is set up at third with nobody out. The at-bat changes for Cooper Thompson. Rodriguez steals a base, gets over to third on an error. And now since Rodriguez is the catcher, he'll be subbed out with a courtesy runner. The courtesy runner can collect stolen bases, but the run would still go to Rodriguez if they happen to get across. Don't want to be getting ahead of ourselves, though. 1-0 to Cooper Thompson. Infield in. High fly ball. Out to right field. Long run for Justice Johnson, who makes the play, and the runner will stay at third. That was a long run for Justice Johnson, but he was dialed up and got that one in quickly. And I'll tell you what, I think that is Brendan Greenfield running the bases for the North Stars. So pitcher on the mound, pitcher at third. Deon Satario Scott fouls it back. Yeah, that's a number 7 on the jersey of Brendan Greenfield. Wouldn't it be funny if he tried to steal home? Deon's 0 for 2 with a double play and a strikeout. Oh, he drives this one deep to center field. But Hasbrook camped under it. It will get Greenfield home, and the lead is 5-0. An unearned run charged to Dylan Wallace. But a run scored nonetheless. Greenfield touches home. The run belongs to Gavin Rodriguez. And a nice piece of selflessness from Deon Satario Scott. Doing his job and earning an RBI. Bases are empty, 2 down for Cash. Sutton 0 for 2. First pitch, shot over to second, diving stop. Imamura, can he get it to first? Oh, what a highlight! Imamura Arredondo teaming up to rob Cash Sutton of a base hit. 1 run gets across for the North Stars. The Blue Sox down 5 as we get set for the bottom of 6. Brendan Greenfield went 5 scoreless innings for the North Stars. He's in line for the win, and he will hand the ball to Connor Grimes. Grimes has pitched 6 1/3 innings, has allowed 13 runs, but has also dealt with some poor defense at the same time. And so this is a big, crucial outing for Grimes. Like we've said plenty of times throughout this broadcast, the Blue Sox offense more than capable of driving in a few. And the big 2 at-bats are going to be Drew Ashimena and Grayson Hasbrook in the 9 and 10 spot for the Blue Sox. Obviously looking to get some runners aboard for the top of the order. And we'll see if Grimes can build upon Greenfield's terrific performance. Greenfield got 5 strikeouts in his start. The first pitch from Grimes. Inside on Ashimena. It was the North Stars defense that was also one of the key contributors, a team effort, that zero on the scoreboard that the Blue Sox have delivered. The North Stars turned multiple double plays. They've kept runners at bay, no stolen bases. A great outing so far, but they're not out of the woods yet. 2-0 pitch in there. 73 miles per hour on a pitch that just clipped the outside part of the plate. 2-1 to Drew, swinging a foul. Two-two pitch on the way. Grounded very slowly. Tough play for Peyton. But a great stretch from Dion Sitario Scott. Retires Drew Ashamene. A G6 in the scorebook. Grayson Hasbrook now up in the 10 spot. So like we were saying, it was a good time for Grimes to come in, taking the last two in the Blue Sox order. But if Hasbrook can get aboard, Justice Johnson would love an opportunity with a man on. The Blue Sox have 3 hits. The North Stars, despite their 5-run lead, only 4. And looking ahead, it's going to be fun to see if Dylan Wallace gets another inning. But in the meantime, here's Connor Grimes. 1-0 pitch to Hasbrook. In tight, ball 2. Hasbrook's in the 10 spot. He is 1 for 1 on the day. Had a 2-out single in the 3rd inning. Make a 3-0. Another pitch inside. Seems like a clear-cut take opportunity for Grayson Hasbrook. We'll see what he does. And it's a 4-pitch walk. Grayson Hasbrook gets aboard. The lineup turns over for Justice Johnson. Still no sign of any real trouble for the North Stars in their 5-run lead, but we saw what the North Stars did to Dylan Wallace and the Blue Sox, hammering through a bunch of runs in the 3rd. Blue Sox trying to do the same. Justice Johnson takes the first pitch for a ball. Not a bad pitch from Grimes, dialed up 77, but just low and off the plate. 1-0 to Justice. And that's 6 straight balls. Two-0. Upstairs, 3-0. One of the key sequences in this game, Isaac Imamura was up 3-0, swung ground into a double play. We'll see if Justice Johnson stays put. And a called strike. Ooh, that was off the plate, but he gets the call. Close pitch, but Justice should probably be at first. But it winds up not mattering. 5-pitch walk to Justice Johnson. The extra hitter, Alika Balberti, 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, both swinging. And the North Stars will talk with Connor Grimes. Won the battle against Drew Ashamene to lead off this inning, coaxed a slow roller to short. But it seems like the Blue Sox are in take mode. I don't know if Grayson Hasbrook or Justice Johnson, if either one of them have swung throughout their entire at-bats. And now we'll have to see if Grimes, if he stays in this game, will give Alika Balberti anything to hit. Like we mentioned, this is a big game for the North Stars. Might be a quick hook for any pitcher here on out. Here's the first pitch to Balberti, swinging a foul. Blue 74 by Samuel. Arredondo hitting .437, and he's down 0-2. One-two to Arredondo. Fly ball into the gap. A long run for the fielders and a great play out in left field. Michael Saltzer originally went out at the crack of the bat but came back in, and Arredondo flies out. So Connor Grimes is through 2. Isaac Imamura now up. 0 for 2 with that double play I'd mentioned perhaps ad nauseum. With a chance at redemption, 2 runners aboard. First pitch on the outside for a strike. Nice pitch. .76 was a lot of vertical break for Grimes. Next pitch skied in the air out to right field. Ryko Hamilton still moving, but a foul ball. Woo-hoo. Now everyone's got to get back into place, including Hamilton, who went for a long run out there in right field. Grimes had trouble getting ahead of the count to Justice Johnson and Grayson Hasbrook, but has gotten the next 2 in 0-2 counts. Trying to finish off Isaac Imamura and leave 2 stranded. Here's the pitch. Imamura, a 400 hitter coming in. Has struck out 3 total times on the season. Grimes trying to make it 4. Another 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a drive into left field, down for a base hit. Hasbrook will score. Johnson will stay at second. An RBI single for Isaac Imamura, and the Blue Sox get their first run of the game. A nice play out in left field by Giovanni Liberti to keep Justice Johnson over at second. But Michael Saltzer now up, same spot, 1 run now on the board. First pitch inside. Johnson at second, Imamura at first. The 1-0 pitch. Throw over to first. Not there. Saltzer 0 for 2 on the day. Ahead 2-0 in the count. Big swing and a miss. 73 with a lot of break right at the bottom of the zone. Maybe the best pitch of the day for Connor Grimes. 2-1. Turned on it, fouled. Ooh, Michael was on it. But now it's a 2-2 count to the left fielder for the Blue Sox. A key moment in a fun game. The 2-2 pitch from Connor Grimes. Inside, count full. Very close pitch. Could have been called a strike. Gavin Rodriguez did his best to frame it. Payoff pitch, runners at first and second, one out. Here's the biggest pitch of the game so far. High drive, out to left field. Liberty camped under it, and the inning will end. Well done for Connor Grimes. Got himself into a little bit of trouble, allowed one run, but was able to hold off the heart of this Blue Sox order as the North Stars will try and add on some insurance up 4. So isn't this fun to see? Dylan Wallace has a chance at a complete game for the Blue Sox. He does not have an unblemished record, charged with 4 earned runs, 1 unearned in the last inning after a sacrifice fly from Michael Salzer was able to score a runner who only was at third because of an error. That was Gavin Rodriguez who scored in the last inning. But for the most part, it's been a really strong showing for Wallace. He's got 8 strikeouts on the day, and I kept talking about how third time through the order, the Blue Sox might, or the North Stars might start doing some damage against him. But for the most part, we haven't really seen it. Only 4 hits on the day. That said, when they were able to get the runners aboard, it came in droves. That's why they ultimately scored 4 in the third inning. Ryko Hamilton got aboard in that inning after being hit by a pitch. That's what kept the inning going. And that's what allowed those runs to score. There's a world in which we see a very low-scoring pitchers duel, and it's 1-1. Or even with the error, 0-1. But instead, Wallace can only play with the hand he's dealt with, and for the most part, he's done a very good job. Jackson Logston leading things off for the North Stars, wave and a miss. And the slider ticking down a little bit in velocity. It's been at the low to mid 70s. That one out of the hand at 68. Logston's 0 for 2, lined out to center last time up in an 0-2 hole. Drive out to left field. Long run and down. Michael Salzer out in left field, relays it in. Logston on his way to second. He's in there standing up for a leadoff double. And now he'll put on the brakes and head back. I thought that was fair. I guess we'll see if Logston's headed to the batter's box. Yeah, just taking off his equipment. Now he's in there at second. I was a little confused. I don't know if he touched second base to that point. But in there safely nonetheless. Leadoff double for Jackson Logsdon. Giovanni Pieri now a chance to add on to this 4-run lead. First pitch, swing and a miss. Impressive for Logsdon to go down and get that in an 0-2 count as well. Out of the reach of Michael Salzer in left field. 0-1 pitch inside. And another North Stars batter down 0-2. Pieri hoping for the same result as his teammate Logsdon, who's at second. Here's the 0-2 from Wallace. One, two. Got him. Strikeout number 9 for Dylan Wallace. One down here in the top of 7. Ryder Lombros, the extra hitter, scored the first run of this game back in the third. Hit a one-out single. Now a chance at an RBI. Logsdon at second. The first pitch from Wallace. Swing and a miss. Runner on the move. The throw down to third. Not in time. Jackson Logsdon got a great jump. Got aboard despite a great throw from Drew Ashamene. One fouled back. I want to make a correction. That Pieri strikeout was in fact strikeout number 10 on the day for Dylan Wallace. And Wallace entered play with 4 total strikeouts on the season. Lombros in a 1-2 hole. Wallace hoping to get his 11th strikeout. The infield is in. Got him. Lombros waves and misses at the outside slider. Ryko Hamilton now with a runner at third. And boy, would this be a big-time spot for Ryko to get that first hit of the season. Reached safely in the third with that crucial hit-by-pitch. First pitch from Wallace. Swing and a miss. Oh, 1 popped up to the infield. Arredondo gets the third out. Dylan Wallace through 6, strikes out 10 to make it 11. Still in line for the loss unless the Blue Sox can score 4 in the bottom of the 7th. A 4-1 lead for the North Stars means that this is not a save situation, but when Daniel Vendel is on the mound, that means that his team is trying to slam the door shut. Vendel's been one of the best pitchers across the league this season. Dominant strikeout stuff. 2.25 ERA over 8 innings, has allowed just 1 hit on the year. The walks have been his issue, though. He has 8 through those 8 innings. But if he can locate the zone, the Blue Sox might be going down. It'll be Damian Quintana to lead things off. Kingston Cost behind him. Raiden Sasaki in the 8th spot, due to hit 3rd in this inning. It's been a fun game to this point. North Stars leading 5-1 over the Blue Sox. The North Stars got 4 in the 3rd inning, tacked on 1 in the 6th. The Blue Sox lone run coming in the 6th. That was when Connor Grimes came in. Allowed the 1 run, but got a pair of crucial outs with men on. And that is the reason why the North Stars are hoping to move to 8-5 on the season. Damian Quintana, 0 for 2 on the day, reached on an error to second base. Two errors charged to Cash Sutton so far in this game. Usually reliable. Quintana just hoping to get aboard any way he can. And here's the first pitch from Daniel Vendel. Launched in off the plate at 88 miles per hour. Definitely an uptick from what we've seen from these other guys so far in this game. Well, like we said, location is the key. 1-0 pitch. Inside, ball 2. 87 on that one. Well, we've seen the velocity. Now the Blue Sox hoping to avoid seeing the placement. Nice pitch on the outside. Ooh, it was off the plate actually by a ball's length, but 2-1 nonetheless to Damian Quintana. Vendel's dominant as is when he gets help. Good luck. Did he hold up? He did. Checked his swing successfully. Quintana up 3-1. We'll see what Quintana does. 3-1 in the count. Here's the pitch from Vendel. Ball 4. 88 at the top of the zone. Quintana reaches safely for the first time today. And for Vendel, that's his 9th walk on the season through 8 innings. And I believe we have a pinch hitter for the North Stars. Just kidding, I was 1 behind. Oh, jeez. So now this is Damian Quintana. Darn it, man. I almost got away with the clean game from start to finish. First pitch strike, my mistake. So it was Michael Salzer who drew a walk. Quintana hoping to do the same. It takes a strike. Beg your pardon. Oof. Here's the 1-1. Can't get the call close to a strike. It's amazing how close that got, considering that Quintana was stepping out. Nice off-speed pitch as well. Broke back in. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Damian. Rocketed in at 88, low of the zone. Another 3-1 count. Remember, only one hit so far against Daniel Vendel on the season through 8 innings. We'll see if Quintana is in take mode. Runner on the move. Throw down to second, sailed high, and it gets into center. A walk delivered as well, so runners at the corners, nobody out. That'll be an E2. Michael Saltzer credit with the stolen base. But the throw from Gavin Rodriguez, well high. That got into center field. And now a mound meeting coming up. It's clear that Vendel has some of the very best stuff across the league. Rare to see guys who can touch 90 who aren't playing for the power. But of course, we've seen command be one of the keys. Brendan Greenfield started this game for the North Stars, went 5 scoreless, largely thanks to that incredible command, coaxing double plays, getting strikeouts. Similar story from Dylan Wallace, who pitched all 7 for the Blue Sox, using mostly his slider. Vendel's got the best pure stuff on the team. We'll see what kind of effect the meeting has. Kingston Koss stepping in 0 for 2. Pair of flyouts, one to left, one to right. First pitch from Vendel to Koss. Shot into right field, dropping, but it will hang up. Nice adjustment by Ryko Hamilton. The throw in went a little awry. A nice sliding stop from Vendel. And that is a key first out. Koss not able to get Salter to come home even on a sac fly. Ryden Sasaki next man up. The DH. 1 for 2. Single in the third. And runner on the move. They got him picked off. Oh, but no throw to second. Damian Quintana is in there safely. 2 runners in scorer's position. So Vendel turned and recognized, I guess, didn't pull the trigger. Going over to Josh Payton at short. Maybe Payton just not there fast enough. Base runners are the big key, but that eliminates the force at second. Grounded over to first. A run will score, but a second out means that the Blue Sox are now 1 out away from falling to the North Stars. Michael Saltzer scores from third. Reached third on that E2 when he stole a base. It's a 5-2 game. Blue Sox need Drew Ashamene to get aboard because Grayson Hasbrook represents the tying run. First pitch, nice. Twisted back in. We're debating what to call that pitch. Might have been a cutter. Sweeper, wow. The 0-1. Pop up. Out to second. Who wants it? Cash Sutton puts it away, and the ball game is over. Daniel Vendel allowed a pair of walks to get it started, but he buckles things down. The Blue Sox fall 2-5 to the North Stars, who continue their climb in the PSCL standings. That win moves them to 8-5 on the year. The Bombers in second won today. They stay at 9-3. But still a nice win to keep pace with the Chill, who aren't far behind at 7-6. A little bit of separation now for the North Stars, staying in the 3 spot. On the other side of things, the Blue Sox fall to 4-8. That ties them up with the Haymakers for the 8 seed in the upcoming playoffs. A lot of fun battles coming up as the season winds down, but this one belongs to the North Stars. Brendan Greenfield got the win. 5 innings of scoreless pitching. Not a bad showing, though, for Dylan Wallace on the other side of things. He will get the loss in this one, despite recording 11 strikeouts with his wicked slider that had the North Stars flummoxed throughout the majority of this contest. Unfortunately, that for Wallace in particular, that 4-run third inning that the North Stars got was enough to propel them to a 5-2 victory. I've been Vince Esprick. Thanks for sticking with us throughout this entire contest. Great to have you alongside us. Have yourself a great rest of your day.